Hey everyone, welcome back to Energy Rising, and my name is Jenea. Today is Tarot Tuesday, and I'm trying something a little bit different with the camera today. One, because I've actually not been feeling very well and don't really feel like being on camera, and two, I just kind of want to find a better way for you guys to see the reading that I'm doing. And so anyway, today I'm going to do a tarot reading, and I think that what I would like to do this reading on is what the universe is trying to bring to you that maybe you can't see. So today we'll kind of get into this a little bit, but I'm going to be using the Beyond Lemuria Oracle deck. So this deck is just really beautiful and I love it. So we'll be pulling some oracle cards from this deck, and then I'll also be using for the main reading the Steampunk Tarot. I'm actually doing this reading from home today, and so I don't have my usual decks. Ooh, you know what I might do actually? I've not used this deck yet. I picked up this Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck. Yeah, let's try it out since we're coming up on Christmas. I had to get this because I love the Nightmare Before Christmas. It's super fun. So yeah, pretty cards. So we'll maybe use a couple of those. So in this reading, I think that what I'd like to focus on, like I said, is what the universe is trying to bring to you that maybe you don't see. And the reason for that is that there's a new moon this week, and I feel like this new moon is really about manifesting something that you've never had before. And sometimes when we're manifesting something that we've never had, all we really see is like what we've always seen. And I was just kind of talking with a friend about this, how it's not really that it you know, like what we're looking for isn't around us. It is around us. We just don't really see it. And so I wanted to do this reading about what is it that the universe is bringing to you that you don't see, and maybe that will help you be able to see it a little bit better. So I'm just going to go ahead and tune into the energy of whoever is watching this video. If you found this video, then it might be for you. Just I would encourage you to listen to the video with your own intuition, to kind of listen for what feels true to you. You know, often if a video is for you, it will, you know, it'll resonate. It'll feel like I'm like talking about you. So, okay. So this is kind of the overall energy of this reading, and that's, you know, that is kind of the energy that we're looking for, is the way that the moon maybe shines down on things to reveal them to us. And I'm going to move that up a little bit. And maybe over here. Okay, so I'll put this down as a clarifier. Okay, so tell me about the old kind of, we'll know what area it is of kind of what you're looking at. This is the old way of maybe what you're continually seeing. Get some clarification on that. Okay. Let's see. Well, I mean, just to start, I think I'm just gonna kind of talk about these cards and what's going on here. So, you know, the overall energy here is the moon in reverse, and this is really a card of, you know, things like not being hidden anymore. So you know, this kind of the energy that I was talking about with this new moon and, you know, doing old things and kind of like not really seeing what's out there that's new is oftentimes because of like subconscious programming that we have. And so this programming happens oftentimes through our like experiences in childhood and life, that we kind of put things away inside of us, and we think that we're like we're doing what's right. You know, it's like something that's traumatic or something, and our defenses kind of put those things away, and then they cause these kind of subconscious patterns to build up in us, that sometimes we don't really recognize. They just play themselves out in our life, and it's like hidden from us. So you know, this moon in reverse is saying that, you know, this energy is actually about not really like that not being hidden anymore, and also maybe the removal of being uncertain about what it is that you're manifesting. You know, this card is like these two pillars of light, and this person is like standing in between them, and, you know, looks a little bit like sad about, you know, they're like sad and uncertain. Oftentimes twos are about really like not knowing how to make a choice. And so this is also kind of about not knowing what you're passionate about, not knowing what it is that you really want because of this subconscious patterning, this something that's like subconsciously been hidden from you. And actually, I want to pull a card on what that might be. Let's kind of look at that. What is this subconscious pattern, or this like subconscious belief, or what is it that has been kind of hidden, that's been keeping you from knowing what it is that you're passionate about? And for this, we're going to use the Dark Mirror cards. So it's this deck. It's kind of a fun one. A lot of times I like to use it for shadowy kind of stuff. So the first card that we got is the Bride in a Cage. And the second card is this me? So this is really interesting. I mean, one of the things that stands out to me here is that right here, this is a new moon on this card. And I mean, this woman is like, it's her wedding day, and she's supposed to be happy and like fulfilled, and instead she's like dead inside, and she's kind of trapped behind these lasers. And it really makes me think of, yeah, this kind of subconscious patterning of doing, you know, like continuing something maybe in relationships or some kind of like commitment oriented type of a thing. I mean, she's in her wedding gown, which is like, if this is related to relationship stuff, it's like choosing relationships that actually make you feel dead inside. And that might sound funny, but you know, when we have like subconscious patterns of things like not believing that we're worthy of something good, or like thinking that we're meant to be hurt, or even just like have a lot of trauma and connect being hurt or disconnected from ourselves to being loved, when that is a pattern that's created in our mind, in our brain, we can do this kind of thing where we continue to engage in those kinds of relationships, even though we're like this bride in a cage, right? It's not really it's not really the thing that we want, and we feel kind of like dead inside, right? Which also is connected to this card, where it's like this, you know, the wands are really a card of passion, but this person isn't really seeing either one of those wands of passion. It's almost like feeling distraught because you don't really know what you're passionate about. And, you know, when you really have passion and you really know what you desire, like when you get that, you feel it. You feel the connection of that energy, rather than this kind of feeling like dying inside. And so then also this, this card is this me? I mean, that couldn't really be more clear, right? It's like this uncertainty of maybe who you really are. And, you know, that's always such an interesting kind of a thing. You know, I think that people come into therapy a lot, and are kind of like wanting to discover who they are. And this is something that I really love to kind of be a part of that discovering. You know, but it's like this question, like, who am I really? Is this really me? Well, there's actually so many different parts inside of us and so many different things about us that we're not really meant to always be the same person. To like, you know, there are some things in us that stay steady, that continue to be who we are throughout time. But also, like, we're meant to change and grow and evolve. We're not meant to be like stuck in the past, or to continue like to die inside. And also in this card, like, you know, she's a vampire, it looks like, right? So she's like the undead, and I feel like that's kind of significant. So that's kind of the shadow of what's maybe being revealed here, or sort of what the universe is trying to like pull you away from, trying to maybe alter this subconscious patterning so that you can see what's new. And so this is the old thing, kind of what's related to the shadowy stuff. So this is maybe more of like the expression that it's taken in your life. So the 8 of Pentacles in the reverse, you know, this is really a card of a lack of growth, a lack of putting in effort. And so maybe it might be that you have been doing things that you don't really like feel like putting effort into, or maybe you've been engaging in relationships with people when it doesn't really feel like they're like putting in effort. And sometimes this can actually be really hooking, you know, it can hook into this kind of these like traumatic things. When somebody doesn't give the effort, then it's like this subconscious desire to try to make them give the effort, because if you could do it, you could, you know, heal these kinds of like these wounds. It's like trying to heal that over and over again through the patterns that we have today. Like if we could recreate the pattern, you know, maybe you had childhood trauma of someone who didn't really take care of you, someone, you know, like you experienced some kind of neglect, or you know, feeling like emotionally abandoned. I'm sorry about my voice, you guys. Again, I'm just kind of getting over a cold, and my voice isn't really doing so great. But you know, or maybe like maybe you've been like giving yourself to jobs where you don't actually feel the desire to like put in the effort or work. You know, you're just kind of like you just don't really have it to give. And so maybe you show up like half-assed, or you know, you're just, you know, and I really believe that is something that happens because like you're not doing what it is that you're intended to do, right? And people have all kinds of ideas about, you know, what it means when you're a person who like doesn't show up for work and isn't consistent or whatever. But I think it's important to kind of take a look at like, why is that? Why is it that you don't really like have the desire to show up and put in the effort? Or maybe you've been a person who you get into relationships and then you don't want to put in the effort. So, and then the 2 of Pentacles. So again, this is another card of kind of this like lack of clarity. So this is a card of, you know, like juggling 2 different things, being really unsure about which thing is for you. So maybe you've engaged in relationships with people who like had more than one person. Maybe you have been a person who has had relationships, or like, you know, been juggling 2 people at once. Or, you know, maybe you like never really go all in with something, whether it's a relationship or a job or whatever it might be. You never really go all in. You're just kind of like juggling, you know, these different options. Okay. So the next thing that I would like to look at is what is this new thing that the universe is trying to like bring to you? This card, I'm going to flip over there. Okay. Let's get some clarification on that. What is this new thing? What is it? Okay. So it looks like the universe is wanting to bring you something, some kind of like a new beginning. This is something that's brand new. And what I love about this card is like this hand is holding this pentacle. And this really speaks to like something that is stable. Not only that, but like the pentacle is shining, right? It's like shiny. Look at it, all these little sparkles around it and stuff. So it's like, the universe wants to bring you something that's like really stable, and also something that's like really sparkly, maybe something that's like exciting, something that is like a light in your life. See, this kind of pot of gold is down here. I think it's a pot of gold, and it's shining this light up onto the pentacle, and that tells me that it's like, well, there's like also all these kind of clouds around here. And what it makes me think of is how, you know, it's like this, the universe is like shining a light really bright on this pentacle. And it's kind of hard to see because of all these kind of clouds around it, right? This subconscious patterning, these kinds of old ways of doing things are kind of making it cloudy around it. So it's hard to see the light. But this pentacle is something that's really shiny and stable. You know, so the universe is trying to bring you something really brand new. And I would say, you know, with the Three of Cups in reverse is something that is clarifying that. It's trying to bring you something where, you know, this is really a card. It can be about like celebration. But what it makes me think of in the reverse here, and what the universe is trying to bring you is like something where it's like made just for you, because the Three of Cups also is a card of kind of like a third party situation, maybe like a love triangle kind of a thing. When I think about this in relationship or in you know, like career or just kind of your life path, it's like you know, because the opposite of this sort of energy of a love triangle is like someone who is just for you. And so it makes me think of like this pentacle that the universe is offering out to you is something that is like a really great match just for you. It's not really for anyone else. So it might be something that is like kind of unique, right? If it's like a career path, it's not necessarily that like something that everybody's like, oh, that's totally my career path, right? Like what I've always dreamt of doing. It's something that maybe is a little bit different, that's like really unique to you. And it's something that is kind of in alignment only with you. Or if this is a relationship, it's like not someone who's out just kind of looking for someone. I really believe in like manifestation, and that what we're seeking is seeking us. And this is kind of a card of that. It's like you maybe have this specific kind of desire for what it is that you're looking for in a relationship or in a career, and it's like what you seek is seeking you. And it is and this is about like in an emotional kind of way, it being a cup card. And you know, the Justice in reverse tells me that it's like not it the universe is trying to bring something to you that isn't something that is like karmic, right? That's kind of the energy, actually, I feel like, of what's going on right now. Is like a lot of times we kind of play out these sort of patterns in our life, and we do these things, and it's like a karmic kind of cycle that we do, and we do it out of this kind of karmic energy, whether that's like things that we've done in this lifetime or in other lifetimes, or you know, we're trying to like work something out inside of ourselves. And so we do these things, and it's kind of like fate. It's like the wheel of fate. And you know, sometimes we like engage in these things that we look back and we wonder, what the heck was that about? Like, why did I feel so pulled to do that? And a lot of times it is some kind of like a karmic thing. And I think, you know, the universe is like, you know, trying to bring you something that isn't connected to karma, which makes me actually think of like dharma, which is what we elevate to when we've worked through our karma. And the other thing that I think of is like the way that she's kind of trying to balance these scales with these cards. You know, because over here there's all these gems and there's a feather over here. And so she's like throwing these cards of fate onto the scale. I don't know if you could actually even just see that. So it's like the gems over here are really heavy. And there's like a feather over here. And she's throwing these cards of fate onto the scale. And, you know, usually I would think of that as like, you know, trying to kind of balance things out. The Justice card is a card of Libra and a balance. But there's something about her throwing those cards on there. It's like, you know, she's trying to balance the scales with these gems. And it's like, you know, maybe the universe has something to bring to you that you don't really even have to work for. And, you know, I'm sure that even just when I say that, like, people have all these thoughts and ideas of like, you know, that we're supposed to work really hard, but really when something's meant for you, and it's in alignment, we don't have to work for it. We don't have to try to balance the scales. It just is. It already is. So I want to ask, like, how are you going to know what this thing is? You know, what are the like, ways in this world, like, give us something solid of how you can see it. Because I believe that, like, you know, not only is what you seek, not only is it seeking you, but it also is already here. It's already here. And how are we gonna see it? What does it look like? Okay. I think I'm actually gonna, I forgot I had these cards, so I'm gonna take one of these on there too. We want as much information as we can get about how are we going to see it. How are we going to know that it's what the universe is bringing to us? I have some videos about, you know, learning to listen to your intuition, and I think that can be really helpful in this area, or meditation, because oftentimes it's like a knowing, but I want something solid for this reading. Like, give us something solid. How are we going to know? What's this? Oh, there's two of them. The 8 of Candles and the 7 of Needles. All right. So let's kind of look through these cards. So we have the King of Swords in the reverse. So, you know, the King of Swords is someone who is kind of a little bit cold. Like, he definitely is of the mind. He's really like a straightforward kind of, no bullshit. He might cut people out of his life, and he seems a little bit cold sometimes. He's not really like that much into emotional kind of stuff. So I would say that, you know, that you're going to know this thing that's like coming into your life. And for a minute, we'll focus on like, love. So if you're trying to manifest some kind of love, which honestly, like, the energy that's happening in the universe right now is a lot about reprogramming our stuff around relationships. And so I do feel like this is a lot in alignment with that. I've been feeling a lot of that, you know, and so we'll kind of focus on that for a second. So the King of Swords in the reverse is like, maybe you'll know that because it will be like a person who doesn't seem cold. Maybe, you know, you have an attraction to people who are cold. That kind of sounds like me. That's funny. So, you know, and it's like the sort of what the universe is trying to show to you is maybe someone who isn't cold. So how else you're going to know it? Well, the 10 of Pentacles is like, you know, this card of like happily ever after. It's like everything. This is the card of, you know, fate. So the card of like, you know, getting all of the things that you desire. It's like, this is like the happy family with, you know, these two people who are in love and this child and these two dogs. And it's like, they're just so perfect together, and fate has aligned this, right? So in terms of like what this would look like in your actual world is stability. It would look like, you know, someone who wants what you want. It's like these people both want the same thing, and that's why they've created it together. So again, like what you seek is seeking you. It's like the person is going to want what you want. And the Ten of Swords is like, this isn't going to feel hurtful. And it's the Ten of Swords in reverse. And so, you know, in this card, I always think about how this guy's on the rooftop and he has all these swords in his back and he feels kind of like hurt and betrayed, you know, but also it's like the end of a cycle. But when it's in the reverse, the swords are all falling out of his back. And so it says that, you know, this thing is like going to be something that feels healing. It feels like maybe even the swords of the past are falling out of your back. Like none of those things in the past really feel like they matter so much anymore. So the Eight of Candles, this card is like, you know, the other way that you're going to know what it is that the universe is bringing to you is that you're going to feel passion inside. It's something that you're going to feel like you want to move towards. Or, you know, if it's a person, it's maybe somebody who is going to move quickly and passionately towards you. It's like, there isn't going to be any kind of, oh, maybe, maybe not. It's like, no, they're just going to be like, yeah, this is what I want. And like you're the person I've been waiting for, and they're going to move towards it, towards you. The Seven of Needles, is a card of, you know, the end. It's kind of like the end of, conflict. It's, you know, where like you kind of still carry some of this old sort of like thinking in your mind. And it helps to kind of protect you in ways, but it doesn't really like decide, what you're doing or not doing. And so I would say that another way that you're going to know what it is or be able to see what the universe is bringing to you is by looking around in your life at like what doesn't feel conflicting in your mind. So if this applies, you know, this can apply also to sort of like, you know, your career, like what you do for a living. It could apply also to even just a new way, a newfound stability in yourself is what I keep feeling even. And the way that this can apply in that way is like, you know, it is not going to be something that you feel cold to. It's going to feel really stable. So like you might actually have some kind of emotional attachment to whatever it is that it is. So it's like looking around your life and thinking about, you know, maybe you feel cold when you think about your job, or you think about this certain way that you've been doing things that just doesn't really feel connected anymore. It just feels kind of dead inside of you. It feels, you know, dead. It feels dead. It feels trapped. Like it just doesn't really give you fulfillment anymore. And this is saying that this thing doesn't feel that way. So like looking around your life at like people, at things that you've participated in, things that you do for fun, things that you have thought that actually kind of light a little spark of some passion, you know, this Eight of Candles. It's going to be something that you feel passionate about. It's going to be something that doesn't cause conflict in your mind. It's going to be something that feels healing, that, you know, you don't feel swords in your back. It's not like, you know, thinking about hurts and things like that. It's like, it doesn't cause any of that stuff inside of you. And it feels really stable and in alignment. And it feels like what you want has been wanting you. Okay. So we're going to pull an oracle card now just to kind of end this. So we're just going to have this oracle card kind of tell us a little bit about maybe your spirit and kind of what it is. You know, this is like again, what you want is wanting you. So you've been doing all these things that aren't really what you want. And now it's like just time to let that go. It's time to just stop doing those things and to open your eyes and look around at what the universe is offering you that you cannot see. Open your eyes to this passion. Open your eyes to this like clarity of thought and the things that feel clear inside of you, around you. So let's get a couple things kind of about your spirit, and what is it that your spirit is really seeking to find through you, to experience through you. Because this is also a great way to kind of get in tune with the energy inside of you and align with your spirit, so that it's easier to see these things in your life, to experience them, and to be open to those things rather than the old. One more. Give us one more, please. Not quite sure. We need one more. I feel that strongly. It's taken its time to come out. So I think that this is probably something that has been pretty like elusive to you. I wonder if, you know, I'm trying to think of what sign you would be for this new moon to be in your 12th house, but I think about maybe some of that 12th house energy being revealed for you right now. It's like something that it feels pretty hidden. It feels like, ooh, can't quite come out. Infinite, huh? And alignment. Okay. We got 2. So, we got surrender. This card is, man, such a beautiful card. You know, it's like she's totally just like free floating through the sky, kind of doing this like backflip. What I love about it is that this kind of thing creates this a circle, right, which is like never ending. And it really is about the way that the universe like wants to support us and hold us up. The way that if we could just like let go and give into this energy, that like we could float and still be safe. And then the portal keeper. I mean, I would say that there is something in your spirit that is that you have some kind of like connections to this different kind of like portal energy. And I can see how actually going through an experience like this would open you up to the sensitivity that you have to portals. And what that means is like, you know, there's so much more to life than what we see, like what we've been taught to see in this universe. There's all of this other stuff that kind of goes on around us that, you know, you might be sensitive to that and not really have known it. Maybe you have a connection to these portals, but you haven't really been cracked open enough yet to have some kind of like a hold on the part of you that has the connection to these portals. And there, you know, this is a really important piece of our universe, is like having people who are the keepers of these portals. You know, these portals are, you know, bring in alternate energy into our universe. They are also ways that we can like shift things in such a deep way. And like, I don't know, I'm like imagining like a merging of energies, right? So there's like something that your spirit is kind of calling you to see this about yourself. So, and then we have these 2 cards that came out, the infinite and alignment. Yeah, and I guess like this just makes me think of like, you know, you've been doing this stuff that's like out of alignment with your spirit. You know, it's like you are the infinite. We all are. We all are the infinite. And this card actually comes right before the portal keeper. It's like realizing first that you are the infinite. Like it's like, you know, you're like connected to the sun. This like beetle down here, this is actually a beetle that is really connected to like spiritual development and like old souls, and the sun is shining up here, and it's like all these different colors and waves, and she's right in the middle of it, and her heart is shining, and she's totally open to it. And it's like you can't really tell where she ends and where this begins down here. See, there's no legs or anything. Like, she is the infinite. And it's saying, like, you know, that your soul is like ready to discover the way that you are the infinite, so you can open up to this kind of whatever it means for you to be the portal keeper. And is like calling you into alignment. And this, you know, is like these remind me of like the chakras. And I'm actually making a course right now that is a 10-week course that's kind of like walking you through step by step, sifting through different things inside of yourself, mainly just to be present with them, to kind of bring you into alignment with yourself. So if that's something that you're interested in, keep your eye out for that. I'll be sharing that information soon, once I really get all of that put together. So I'll have that up on my website here soon. But it's, again, like your spirit's really calling you to come into alignment. And I love that, you know, the universe is always providing us with ways to do that. And right now there's just all this energy that the universe is providing astrologically through what's been going on to like bring us into alignment with ourselves. So I hope that this has been helpful for you. Hope that it makes sense, and I will see you guys next time.